Welcome back to Saca las Velitas podcast. My name is Danny, and wait, but welcome back to Saca las Velitas podcast. This is episode 30. Finally,
Woo, we made it.
Damn.
Shout out us.
Shout out us.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. So my name is Danny, and also known as Brujo, and this is my co-host
Erica, also known as Erica Tinez.
Yes, and our other co-host, he's sick today, so he couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it to the 30th episode, but we're gonna drink one for him.
Yeah, he is.
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna drink over him. And then first thing I want to say is shout out to my client. She sponsored us with these buzz balls, with the blue buzz balls here, with all these right here, and then the ones over there, especially the biggie one up there. We actually drank. Well, I drank the other biggie. She got us two biggies for the pod, but I actually drank the biggie before it didn't make it to the episode.
Dude, these are so rare to find here in Sac. So it's crazy that, I mean, is it so rare that now? Either way, these are tight.
yeah, it's still kind of rare because that's what happened. Like I would see my clients post them and stuff. So remember how one of the previous episodes we had mentioned like, hey, if you guys want to sponsor us with drinks or whatever. So then since we had mentioned the blue one, this one. She was like, "Hey, I got something for your podcast." I was like, "Well, okay, cool,
nice."
Yeah,
shout out you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to down this one right now too. Yeah. I just didn't want to mess up the intro.
For real.
So let me see. So first thing on the list. Oh, so I saw that you guys you and the girls went on a road trip today.
Yeah, we went on a mini little road trip. Heck, last minute. So long story short, I have been wanting to go to this supermarket. It's called Vallarta. And it's mainly in like Southern California, right? So like San Diego, LA, Bakersfield. And I found one, the closest one to Sac is in Modesto. So I went with the girls because I was in search for the Jarritos zero sugar orange drink.
Yeah.
And they were there. So I was like, let's go. And the girls were like, heck yeah. So we went and that was super fun.
Yeah, I know. When I saw you guys come back with the ceviche and stuff, and it said Vallarta, I was like, "What the hell?" I was like,
"What? You went to LA?"
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know there was a Vallarta here.
For real.
And she was like, "Nah, we drove like from where we're at to Modesto. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, huh?
Yeah,
más o menos, like an hour and 15." So she's like, "No, we drove all the way over there. They have one there." I was like, "Oh, okay, no wonder, because there's none out here where we live."
None, yeah, and it was a while ago. We were gonna go get the Gran Malos.
Yeah.
And we never ended up going because we found them here. Yeah. But so ya se me hizo the wish to go because it's kind of funny to like because it's like a little bit of when we go to LA. That's the store that we go to. That's the grocery store. So it's like a little bit of like It's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, like a little bit of like nostalgia.
Yeah,
like it makes us miss it over there.
Right.
Because that's the first thing I thought when I saw the label said Vallarta. I was like, oh, what? I was hella jealous, man.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Last time I went to a Vallarta, I was super drunk.
yeah, I know. When we stayed, it was the one in Pasadena, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was lit.
Yeah, shout out Eileen and Carla.
Yeah, shout out Eileen and Carla, and shout out Pasadena. Anybody watching us from there?
Yeah.
We love you guys. We appreciate you guys.
But I'm gonna make it a point to go at least like once a month because one, the prices are great.
Yeah.
And then two, their food is like ready to go bomb.
Yeah.
I'm currently drinking the horchata from there. They sell it in like bulk, like in little gallons. Since I'm not drinking any alcohol, I'm drinking this. So.
Yeah, I know. And I was actually going to use some of that as a chaser.
Yeah.
Because I got the bottle down here. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I was going to end up messing up my stomach. I didn't want to mess up my stomach during the pod.
We're going to be like, I cut.
Yeah, exactly, man. I didn't want to take too many bathroom breaks.
Yeah, but yeah, so I'm going to make it a point. So next time, I'm going to take it with me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, heck yeah. I know I was a little jealous when I saw you guys come back. I was like, what the? Like I said, there's none out here. Mm-hmm. So I was like, damn, where'd you guys go for that? So next time for sure I'm coming through for sure.
Yeah, and dude, I had posted like on my IG stories. If you don't follow me. And I was like, oh, the main reason why I went. And then one of my friends, his name is Saul. He was like, dude, they have some right here. And I'm like, no, what? but it's not the Vallarta. Oh. It's the zero sugar Jarritos.
Oh yeah.
So from my understanding, it was only in Southern California. But since that store Vallarta is Southern California based, I knew they were gonna have it, and they did.
Yeah.
But so if you're looking for the zero sugar Jarritos, they are in Sac. You just gotta, I forgot the name like he said, but shout out you for putting me on.
Yeah. Like once I edit this, if you're able to find the name or whatever, let me know, and
okay.
I'll post it.
Yeah. So yeah.
because I'm sure there's a lot of people looking for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that must have been fun. And then you were telling me about the you guys saw this billboard up there.
Oh, dude, super funny because we talked about Drake and Kendrick, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm driving, and mind you, I don't have my glasses on, but I'm driving and I see this huge sign that says Drake. Mm-hmm. So me and the girls have this like the joke, the meme, the Soldier Boy when he's like Drake.
Yeah.
Drake.
Yeah.
So when I see the name, I said that, right, and we just kept it pushing. I was like, oh, that's funny. And then when we kept going, my little one, Evelyn, just recently got her glasses. So she's like reading the billboard. She's like, Mommy, look what it says.
Yeah.
So it's a billboard for a lawyer, for like an injury lawyer. And it says on the bottom, Drake serving poetic justice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I'm like, dude, that's so funny. Yeah. And then we kept driving. I was like, oh, take a picture. Because we passed hell of them. Like if you're driving... to like towards the south, towards Modesto from Sacramento. Yeah. On 99. It's on 99. So we kept going and we seen another one. I was like, get your camera ready. I'm gonna send you the pictures. The next one was Drake, something lawyer. They not like us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's super funny. Like the way that he's promoting himself is dope.
Yeah. Yeah. That lawyer, because I've seen those billboards too. It's mostly like in the Stockton area.
Yeah.
It's mostly like driving through Stockton. Mm-hmm. At least that's where I've seen them. But yeah, they're hella funny, man. They're hella funny.
Yeah.
I remember even one time Afiliado was mentioning that. He said he was out there. He's seen that too.
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah. I didn't even know, but I was like, that's funny. And then, yeah. He's poking fun of his name, but obviously he's Team Kendrick.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we can't blame him.
No, but back to more important stuff. So Drake actually dropped an album.
He did.
It's called Nokia, dude. I clicked on it the other day because it said I got the notification. It said Drake posted a new video. Mm-hmm. so I was like, oh, let me go check this out. So then I clicked on it. It was pretty tight. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because for people that are old enough, Nokias were like some of the first cell phones. Mm-hmm. When cell phones started becoming more popular, and like more affordable, a lot of people started out with a Nokia. Like especially like Metro PCS and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like here, it's known as Metro PCS here, but other places it was called Cricket for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it was a pretty cool song, pretty catchy beat.
Yeah. I wouldn't know, but I have seen a lot of people talking about it and giving him his flowers. Like he did a good job. So I'm not gonna be a hater.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool, man. So hey, shout out Dre, shout out Team Scorpio.
And you know what that means? If he dropped an album, that means he's gonna go on tour soon. So
yeah. So hopefully he comes out here, man.
Yeah, hopefully for you.
Yeah. Oh man. So okay. So speaking of music, right? So last night I was actually I was watching this also on YouTube. I was watching the interview that Brown Bag Mornings on 106 over there in LA that they did with Jimmy Humilde and the new movie that he's coming out with. So the movie is basically about it's kind of like he was kind of saying it was kind of the story of his life. Kind of like almost like a biography, kind of like loosely, right? Mm-hmm. And there's gonna be Duno's gonna be in it from Brown Bag, and also JD, which is he's the singer from Herencia de Patrones. So I was pretty shocked because fun fact, so Herencia de Patrones, JD and them, they're actually from Yuba City. So I actually lived in Yuba City for a bit. Well, no, not in Yuba City, but I worked in Yuba City. I actually worked at the Home Depot in Yuba City a couple years back. Yeah, shout out Home Depot. So I actually worked at the. There's only one Home Depot in Yuba City. When I found out that this artist was from Yuba City, I was like, what? I was kind of shocked. The way that I found out was because I'm listening to one of their songs, and it's actually a pretty good song, man. If you guys never heard of it, I recommend you guys go check it out. It's called Quiero Darte. Oh. It's called. Of course, that would be one of my favorite songs, right? But it's called Quiero Darte by Herencia de Patrones. So at the end of the song, he's like, desde 5:30 para el mundo. So when he said 5:30, I'm like, oh, what? Okay, so these guys are kind of local. I'm thinking like, okay, like, first thing I thought was like maybe Woodland. Mm-hmm. And then, I started watching more videos of them. And then I saw a podcast interview that he did. And he mentions that he's actually from Yuba City.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So Duno's in it, you said?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why he was Remember when we went to LA for the 100th episode?
Yeah.
And then like the day after, Duno had posted that he was going to be in Sacramento.
Yep.
Maybe are they going to do the movie there?
Yeah, no. So he came out to Sacramento, but he actually went to Yuba City.
Oh.
But the flight dropped him off in Sacramento.
Right.
But yeah, so that's why he was in, you know, Sacramento that weekend or that week because of that movie. So they actually filmed the movie like a while back, and they're barely just now on August 15th of this year, 2025. They're gonna release it.
Wow.
But they actually filmed it like, what was that, about 2 years ago?
Two years ago.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So they actually filmed it about 2 years ago, and that's why Duno's always making jokes of like, oh, I was in the movie, it's gonna come out one day, like, you know.
Yeah.
And people were like, bro, what movie? You're lying, man.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because okay, that makes sense. Then that's dope.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because a lot of people don't know Yuba City like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they think of Yuba City, when they think of like Woodland or like the surrounding areas of Sacramento, they claim that as Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. And you know, on the interview that they did with Brown Bag Mornings, he mentioned how his first job was actually picking peaches off of trees. So you know, me knowing that area, you know, I know that there's a lot of peach trees. It's known for a lot of peach trees. Because when I lived out there, I lived in a gated community, but as soon as the gates opened up, all I saw was peach trees. Like that whole area is just known for peach trees. So JD talking about how his very first job, it wasn't landscaping, it wasn't cutting grass, it was actually picking peaches off of trees. I was like, dude, I know exactly where he worked at.
Oh, see, that's dope.
Like maybe not his exact, you know, job, but I know that area that he worked at.
Yeah.
So that was pretty tight. So that interview really caught my attention. You know, like I said, especially, you know, because of JD and because of Herencia de Patrones. And then, you know, so to see them out, you know, all the way out there, you know, doing big things, you know, making this movie and everything. You know, there's a lot of people making fun of him, you know, making fun of their movie and stuff. But it's like, dude, like, that's pretty major, man. Because again, a lot of people don't know where Yuba City is. So to see somebody from Yuba City out there making it, man, that's good.
So it's like a biopic.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's loosely like a biopic of Jimmy Humile. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Good for him, dude. Shout out you, because that's for whoever's hating or making fun of him, or they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that don't know, like who, you know, Jimmy Humile and all them are, basically he's the one that signed, you know, Fuerza Regida. He's the one that signed Nathaniel Cano. He signed a lot of big names. So again, you know, when you look at Jimmy Humile's track record, and he deals with, you know, all these, you know, these he helped all these people get on. Then knowing that he helped somebody from Yuba City, it's like, oh damn, okay, so he's really doing things for, you know, for our people, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So you know, shout out Jimmy Humile. I'm definitely gonna go check out that movie.
Same.
It's called Clica, and it comes out August 15th. I definitely recommend you guys go check it out. You know, like I said, they filmed it 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, and we've been, you know, hearing about it, knowing about it behind the scenes, but it's finally gonna come out this year.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to watch that interview, it's actually on here on YouTube. So it's on Brown Bag Mornings' YouTube. So that's how I saw it. The actual interview I think was about like a week ago, but I saw it last night, just, you know, Friday night, just chilling at home. So yeah, you guys definitely go check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure. Yeah.
So another movie that's coming out that also has to do with like Latinos and stuff, and it also has to do with Duno, is a movie called Horchata with Oat Milk. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Yes, me too.
I've heard it for the past how many years on you guys know that we love Brown Bag Podcast. So they've been talking about this movie for so long, and it's finally out. They even make fun of it, of how long it took them to put it out. So finally. Yeah.
So are you gonna go check that one out?
Heck yes.
Yes. That's a for sure. That's a definitely yes for me too.
Yeah.
We definitely got to come out and support.
And the preview, the trailer, it has Letty from it says Power 106, and that was so cool. That was so cool. And seeing Duno, you know, we're huge fans of them, so seeing him is like, finally, dude, like, it's coming true. Like, oh, it almost feels like we're just watching him just grow up. Yeah. And getting that beat. I'm just kidding. We'll go talk about that in a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually on the list of topics. Sorry. That's actually the next one. I figured first we gotta give him his flowers first, then we gotta talk shit. You know? Yes. But no, seriously though, I'm definitely gonna watch Horchata with Oat Milk. Yeah. It has a lot of famous comedians in there. It has Concrete in there. I'm pretty sure you came across some of their reels and stuff, some of their skits on Instagram and TikTok. So I'm definitely excited about that. Basically, we haven't seen it, so we don't have any spoilers. But basically, it's about like how certain areas in LA are getting gentrified.
Yeah.
And they've been getting gentrified, so it kind of has to do with that. So it's like it's kind of coming from the point of view of like Latinos from LA that are seeing it and they saw it firsthand.
Yeah.
Their neighborhoods that they grew up in. Boom! All of a sudden, they're selling freaking
horchata with oat milk.
Yeah, horchata with oat milk and freaking chai tea this, chai tea that, and freaking vegan this, vegan salad, vegan that. It's like so it pretty much has to do with that.
How fun!
But I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a good one.
It's been a long time coming. If you watch Brown Bag, you guys know that we've been like, when is it coming out? We almost thought it was like, oh, he wasn't gonna come out in the movie. Mm-hmm. We were like downplaying it, but it looks really good. It looks like a really good quality movie. So I'm excited. And I seen that a lot of people went to the preview, like the showing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw a lot of my clients out there.
That's crazy, dude. This guy. That's awesome. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of my clients out there. And then one of them, she works for an agency, and she's gonna be a guest on the podcast. Mm-hmm. So we're actually gonna be doing a podcast episode out there in LA. Mm-hmm. So she's one of the guests that's gonna be on, and I'm gonna definitely ask her, about like how did it feel to be there on the red carpet and all that, and cool. She hires people to be on projects like that.
That's cool.
So I definitely got a lot of questions for her about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's gonna be a great episode.
Yeah.
Because he's told me a little bit about her, and I'm like, dude, you have to get her on. Yes. Especially when he told me she was at the showing or the preview. Yeah. Definitely got to put her on. Yeah.
So shout out Jen, man. Can't wait to do your episode for sure. And then there's a few, like we said on the previous episode, we're gonna do a lot of more episodes out there. Just episodes with our friends, but then also episodes with like vendors and business owners out there, So like her, she's a business owner, she's a vendor, she like I said, she works, she's an agent, so she actually hires people to be on commercials and movies and all that. And magazine covers and stuff, so we definitely want to have her on. So she give us, a little behind the scenes, like how to get on, right? She'll share some of those tips with us, stuff like that. But I'm gonna definitely ask her about horchata with oat milk for sure, man, for sure.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the next topic is also about Duno, right? So shout out Duno, man. It's all love.
Dude, it's all love, but we have to talk about it.
Yes.
We have to talk about it.
So, do you want to start? You can start.
I'll start off, okay?
So explain to them what happened, and then.
Okay. Basically. There is two groups of people that are doing like vlogs and like podcasts and Duno's known for podcasting and like Chisme with Duno, Brown Bag, and then what was the other? I forgot the other one. And then if you guys know of Chicos Tóxicos,
shout out Chicos Tóxicos.
He put me on yet again to those group of boys too, and I became a fan of Felipito. That's what they call him, right?
Yeah, Felipito.
So there was a reel that they made that I first saw. I didn't see the actual video, but of them squabbling up in the ring. And from that little reel on Instagram, I got secondhand embarrassment. But I mean so well when I say this. Duno needed to do a lot better, but good for him, because I'm sure he's getting paid very well for that video. But yeah, dude, I don't even know how to put it into words, because I feel like I don't want to talk, about him because he did his great. But dude, I thought Duno was gonna beat him. Yeah. Because of the way he was raised in the streets and the hood and all that. And I don't know Felipito like that well, but he looks like he's in the gym. Yeah. He's a soccer player, but I feel like when it came down to like a squabble, he would have not took Duno down. Yeah. And he did.
Yeah. So my point of view of that. So I was watching a podcast that Bradley Martin did. Mm-hmm. So it was on Bradley Martin's channel. So it was Bradley Martin and Duno and Felipito. So it's a podcast of just them three, right? So then I hear Duno say, "Hey, yeah, man, yeah, I'll spar with you in the ring. I'll put the gloves on with you in the ring for a vlog, right?" So there's our podcast. We just say things to be entertaining, right? So I know, we know how it is, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'll put the gloves on with you, blah blah. But then, so I didn't really think nothing of it. I'm just like, okay, it's entertainment,
Right.
He's saying that for the podcast. So then later that same evening, I'm scrolling on YouTube, and I see a brand new video just posted 15 minutes ago or whatever, right? So it's Duno and Filipito, in the ring, and it's like, oh, they really got down, whatever. So I'm thinking it's clickbait. So I was like, man, they didn't really box, right?
Right.
So then I look at the comments, and somebody in the comments was like, hey, at this and this minute, Duno was, losing about all this, right? So I was like, oh shit, well, okay, so they really got down. So I forwarded to that minute, and they're really throwing down. But basically, they were sparring inside the ring with the equipment on, with the gloves on, and everything. It's crazy because like Duno, every episode or every time he's on social media, he talks about how he threw down with this homie and this other homie and this op, and he threw down with this person. And then so, I'm expecting like, oh, Duno's bigger than Filipito, So I'm like, damn, okay, I'm expecting Duno to damn near unalive this fool, right?
Yeah.
so it was hella funny the way that they were throwing down. All I could say is, Filipito was not even out of breath. He wasn't even out of breath. He wasn't even sweating. He was barely just like talking normal. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like,
yeah.
And then like Duno was like out of breath, hella sweating, everything. And everybody in the comments is telling him like, fool, they're telling Duno like, fool, you need to like, work out, work on your cardio because, it's unhealthy.
Right.
Which was actually another topic that I kind of wanted to bring up. Mm-hmm. But it's very true, like right there. And even though that was entertainment, it's like, it's perfect example of like somebody who works out versus somebody who doesn't work out.
Right.
Because they're both big boys, right?
Yeah.
They're both pretty big. But Felipito does soccer. He's in the gym. He does gym vlogs. Even though he's a big dude, he's used to running. He's used to like that endurance and all that. Yeah. So it's like when they're in the ring, it showed. It showed who actually gets up and runs and does what he has to do. And it shows who didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it goes to show like, dude, it doesn't matter your size. Like what matters is your cardio. What matters is your like you said, your endurance, because all that for nothing.
Yeah.
You got all that heavyweight pa nada, and you can tell Duno gave it his all, so shout out him. But at the same time, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I finally ended up seeing the entire thing, and I'm like, dude, like, go to the hospital. Like that fool was trying, like, struggling to like catch his breath. And like, I get it. I'm a big girl, but when it comes onto cardio, like, people might not believe me, but I have a lot of endurance. So it's like when it's like Duno has so much potential, but in that I'm sure it humbled him a little bit, and then made him understand like, I gotta do better. Yeah.
And real quick, side note, fun fact, my sister right here, she does have a lot of endurance, man. I've been seeing her videos at the gym. So there's a reason why I never go to the gym with my sister, because I'm not trying to get Duno, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be Duno all out of breath and sweating and shit. And then her over here not even breathing hard, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So, and it's funny because like my daughter, they're younger than me, and they're in soccer, and like I take them to the gym with me, and they're like, oh, mommy, I gotta take a break. Yeah. I'm like, it's been 5 minutes, girl. You gotta get it together.
Yeah, because when I see you post your workouts and stuff, I'm like, there's no way I can do that. There's no way my back can handle that. There's no way my knees can handle that. There's no way, like, no, there's no way. But so but it's like that's pretty cool though, that that you're so motivated like that, because that would even help other people stay motivated. You know?
Yeah.
But back to the whole like health thing. It's again right there. It showed, man, like that video right there. If I had a kid, and I'm trying to get my kid to stay active, to stay motivated, to stay fit and healthy, I would show him that video right there. Like, look, here's a person who doesn't work out. Here's a person who works out. Whether it's playing soccer, whether it's at the gym, whether it's any kind of just movement. He's moving. Filipito's moving, and then Duno, he ain't really moving like that, and it showed. It showed. Also, his ass cheeks showed.
Oh, dude. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Dude, what
Hey, the whole time I'm watching the fight, when Duno's pads were down here, I was like, Duno, you gotta Diego him. So, for those of you that don't know, on Chicos Toxico, there's another guy named Diego. So there was a video where Felipito's doing a bench press on the bench, and there's some beezies there. They're trying to show off for the Susie eyes and shit. So then Diego goes, pulls down his pants, and sits on Filipito's face, which is
sweaty and everything.
which is really messed up. And a lot of people are getting at Filipito like, "Hey, bro, no, that's a fade right there, fool. That's a fade. Like, you can't just let that slide. Like, that's your homie and everything, but that's a fade.
Mandatory."
And Filipito is hella humble to where he's like, nah, I'm cool. But when I saw Duno's ass cheeks hanging out, I was like, hey, fool, do it. Diego did, fool, do it. Like, that was Duno's last defense is pull your butt cheeks out. That's it. Like, if anything was going to save Duno, it was his butt cheeks.
It was his butt.
And it didn't even save him because he wasn't even thinking like that. He was oh man, it was crazy, man. It's crazy.
Dude, yeah. And we're just talking, but it's like because we watch him a lot, and we always hear his interviews like, oh dude, I'll put the paws on this guy, and I squabbled up with this guy, and I'm that guy, and like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, he might have, and maybe this is just the wrong day.
Yeah.
But dude, I was rooting for Duno. I was like, oh, he's about to take this, know? A
Me
lot
too.
of faith in him, but watching that, I was like, dude. And then I felt bad. It was like secondhand embarrassment, and then I felt bad.
Yeah.
But good, back to the previous podcast episode where we said just post it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, post it whatever you look like, even if you're losing a squabble with your friend. On what a friendly fade, it's like, it is what it is. Post it, and I'm sure he's making a lot of revenue off of that.
Yeah. He's for sure. He's still getting paid.
Yeah.
And I bet you, it comes back to entertainment, and it comes back to its work.
Yeah.
Like, it's work for him, it's work for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guarantee you that Duno was probably like, oh, don't even post that, because it was his own vlog.
Yeah.
It was on his own channel.
It was.
So I guarantee you, at some point he was like, no, don't even post it. But then his homies and everybody's like, nah, fool, if you don't post it, they're going to be calling you out until you post it.
Yeah.
So he's like, you know what? F it. Just post it. I'm going to get paid anyways. Which he is. He's, look, we're over here talking about him, right? So it's like, it worked, right? So, but, we're just speaking on it, on the behalf of, like, we're his fans. We're actually his fans.
We are huge fans.
Yeah. And we also, we've been speaking a lot about health,
Yeah.
Lately on our recent episodes, we've been talking a lot about health. There's a reason why she's not even drinking anymore, So it's like we practice what we preach, right? So if we're over here trying to tell everybody to be healthy, we're trying to stay healthy too.
Yeah.
I still drink, but I might have given up some other stuff,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's like so that was the main reason why we even wanted to talk about it on the pod, is because of the whole, we saw how out of breath Duno was, you know what I'm saying? Like that was pretty crazy, and he's a young dude. He's a young ass fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it was crazy. But again, it was very entertaining. Mm-hmm. So if you guys, again, it's also on YouTube. Yeah. If you guys want to go look it up, it's on Duno's channel.
Yeah.
And it's Filipito from Chicos Toxicos. But man, honestly, as a dude, I give it to both of them for even getting in that ring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, people could talk, SH all day, but it's like actually putting the gloves on and getting in the ring with another fool. That takes a lot. So I give it up to both of them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Y'all
did that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's just like, we just speaking on it like, we want to see Duno around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
heck yes.
We want to keep you around, fool. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so speaking of, YouTubers and podcasts and all that, right? So there was a recent episode, and I hadn't really seen it until you mentioned it the other day. Mm-hmm. But it was basically these two females doing a podcast. And they're talking about who's the artist?
Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez.
Yeah, okay. So first of all, I like Selena Gomez from back in the day. So I'll let you explain it because you don't want to.
Fun fact: Selena Gomez and myself have the same birthday. So
hey, tie.
Yes, the same exact birthday, July 22nd.
Tie. Water signs.
So obviously, if you are a fan of Selena Gomez, everybody knows that she has been in a huge heartbreak when it came down to like Justin Bieber, and then Justin Bieber moving on and being, getting married and now having a child with said girl that he got with right after Selena Gomez. So Selena's been going through it, and for a lot of years, and finally she found her person. And of course, Selena Gomez is a beautiful, talented woman. And her boyfriend is, or fiance now, Benny Blanco. And a lot of people have opinions on his physical appearance. Mm. And this specific podcast that we were talking about, I don't even know the name of it because I don't watch them, but it came up on my Reels and on IG. they were talking about his looks. And, you know, one of them was like, oh, but he's really nice. And like, he's growing on me. And this girl that literally looks identical to him was like, he's ugly.
Yeah.
Like, forgetting everything else that he, like his, you know, his talent. He's a chef. He produces music. He's like a great, the way he speaks about how he loves on Selena Gomez is like beyond what he looks like. This is literally like to the T of what every woman should have in a man and vice versa. Yeah. What he does for her that he talks about on podcasts and very publicly, I feel like everybody should experience that at least that once in their life. So for this girl to sit in her podcast or whatever it is, and to just basically just 2 words, he's ugly.
Yeah.
And with so much sass and attitude, forgetting the fact that, like I said, they literally look like they could be the exact same person, just one with makeup and one with not. Mm-hmm. It made me so mad to the point where I'm like, Danny, we got to talk about this. Because I'm like, how dare she sit there? And because God forbid a guy looks at Selena and like, oh, she's ugly. Yeah. He'll get canceled. Yeah. He'll sit there and, oh, he's misogynistic. Oh, it's because she's not a operada. Oh, because she's not this. Oh, because she's not that. But when a girl does it, like, I mean, and to be fair, the comments were like checking her, like, no, girl, you're wrong for that. And I loved it. Yeah. Because sometimes a lot of girls are girls. But in this case, I'm a girl's girl, but not for her. Yeah. I don't even know her name, to be honest with you. Yeah. But, dude, literally, I want to do, if you want to, put the side by side or even just that little snap of what I sent you. Yeah. Literally looks just like him talking about he's ugly. Yeah. And I could not fathom, like, how do you watch that? Edit it and then post it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. It's crazy because I didn't really know that all that happened. But then when you showed me that reel of how people were like saying she looked just like him, mm-hmm. and I'm looking at the reel and she does look like the dude that she's talking about. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? So first of all, I want to shout out, you know, Selena Gomez for being a water sign, fellow water sign here, 2 water signs right here. So Selena Gomez being a water sign, that's why that fool's so in love with her, because she's a water sign. You know what I mean? Talk about it. That's how water signs do it. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
You know what? I want to Google what he is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I think I had Googled it before, but I forgot.
Watch him be a Scorpio.
Watch him be a Pisces. Probably not.
Yeah, I feel he's more of a Pisces. He has more of that Pisces artistic.
Yeah. Look. If he is, I'm gonna Pisces.
Dude, see, I knew it. I knew it.
Yep.
Ty. See, water signs recognize other water signs, man.
And what have I said before? I'm a Cancer, same birthday as her. Every person that I have talked to, dated, or anything is a freaking Pisces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dune is a Pisces too.
Yeah, he is. even my person is a Pisces.
Yeah, so dude, I called it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because he did give me the vibe. Because when you showed me the picture of just the way he looks, since he looks so artistic, I was like, dude, he has to be a water sign. Mm-hmm. And so I'm glad we confirmed it. Pisces.
Yep, Pisces.
But yeah, see, Pisces recognize. Water signs recognize water signs.
Let me see the exact date. March 8th.
Oh, March 8th. That was like a couple days ago.
Yeah. So happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Benny Blanco. And that's a pretty cool name too.
That is, yeah.
That's gonna be my next like video game name or something. Like, I'm not even a gamer, but if I am, I'll be like Benny Blanco.
My next burner account.
That just sounds fucking mysterious, like Benny Blanco.
It sounds tight, yeah.
Benny Blanco. No, but so back to the hater chick, right?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. See, like that whole scenario reminds me of when Pete Davidson was dating Ariana Grande, and then she started talking smack about him. Yeah. And he went on stage and made a whole comedy skit. And he said, "Can you imagine if that was me? Right. Can you imagine if I was over here talking about Ariana Grande? Because, you know, for those of you that don't know, he's a Scorpio. Mm-hmm. He actually has the same birthday as me right here. Hey. Scorpio gang. He's actually born November 16th. So it reminded me of that. Yeah. When Pete Davidson said, "Hey, can you guys imagine if that was me? If I go on here and I'm not gonna say what he said because I don't want to get this podcast episode demonetized. But if you guys want to look it up, or if you guys know, then but it's on YouTube. You guys can look it up. Yeah. But you know, it reminded me of that. It's so crazy how this BZ could just come up and be like, "Oh, he's ugly, blah blah," right? Mm-hmm. But if some fool comes up and calls her fat, canceled.
Yeah.
Canceled. This dude, if a dude comes up and calls her fat, because I seen what she looks like. Mm-hmm. If they come up and call her, whatever, boom, canceled.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy how that double standard in.
It really sucks.
No, and you know what else too? I've always said this. Females keep other females single. So that girl, right, with no man, and she always talks about how she ain't got no man. So I'm not making that up. She really always talking about she ain't got no man. She's clowning on Selena Gomez's man. He's like, dude, where's your man? She's just mad because she ain't got no man, so she's trying to keep Selena Gomez with no man.
Right.
So she's he's ugly.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, okay, first of all, that's 2 water signs.
Right.
That's a match made in heaven right there.
Literally.
Or a match made in hell, whichever you prefer.
Period.
Whichever resonates with you the most.
Yeah. Dude, that was a bar.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, like, even like I said, I'm really, really a girl's girl. And like, obviously, girls in like behind closed doors, well, we could talk our little smack. We can be like, oh, es está feito or está guapi or whatever, But to sit in front of a camera and, like I said, edit it and post it and really think that it sucks. Like I really was like shocked, and I'm like, I hope these comments don't
they don't disappoint.
They don't disappoint, and they sure didn't.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like she's very much of like in the Latino community podcasting, and a lot of like big podcasters have given these girls their flowers, but this one, her co-host need to literally be like, no, fue like te pasaste.
Yeah. Because
it's like he said, if it was the other way around, if it was a dude doing that, he would have been canceled. They would have been like, oh, we gotta do a vote to get them off of the internet. We need to do this. Yeah, a petition.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, that was very ugly of her. And I'm not even talking about what she looks like. It's about her personality. Yeah. And I'm nobody, but I'm just stating my opinion.
Yeah. That
made me super mad. And it's crazy because it's like I could have just kept scrolling, but I'm like, oh, it's about Selena. And like I said, same birthday. And I'm like, oh, they about to, I want to see. And then for her, just literally like, he's ugly.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. See, and you know what's crazy too? This is like a kind of a side note that has nothing to do with that BZ. Mm-hmm. But that explains why Selena was in love with. That explains why Selena was dating The Weeknd.
Right.
Because if you watch The Weeknd, his videos are pretty morbid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that she's a water sign, knowing she's a Cancer, and then you watch his videos, you're like, okay, so that's how he pulled that. Okay,
it makes sense.
So that's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why they were dating.
Yeah.
But
and look, this girl, going back to the girl, it's like her saying, oh, he's ugly. But it's like, so you would want her to go back to Justin Bieber? Look how that turned out.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to say, oh, well, Justin Bieber's a sweetheart. They're going to be like, oh, no, he's just fine. Like, and what does that cater to in the relationship?
Yeah.
That's a plus. That's a bonus. And to me, Benny Blanco is not ugly. He is his personality, the way he talks, if you can make a girl laugh.
Yeah.
You got it. You're already in the non-friend zone, so.
Yeah, and then even me being a dude and looking at his page, I can see that he's very artistic.
Yeah.
So us guys, we compliment other guys differently. We're not gonna be like, oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? He looks like he plays video games pretty good. And shit, you know what I mean? And like he looked like he would paint a car pretty tight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He looked like he could change a tire. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we compliment other guys, right?
Right.
So me being a water sign, and I see this who's page. I'm like, okay, he looks pretty artistic. You know what I mean? He looks like he could draw some shit. No. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
See, so.
Yeah, so it's like that dude's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
And that name, Benny Blanco. Benny Blanco.
Yeah. So, and it's crazy, but I really like their dynamic. I like how they are, and it's cool to see her, how much, how heartbroken she was to being in this healthy ass relationship from what we can see, because we don't know what they, their personal life, but whatever we can see, I'm here for it. And I'm so happy because we've seen her journey,
Yeah, plus, lately a lot of people have been giving her a lot of backlash about the Spanish show that she did, about her Spanish. And it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, she tried, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's one thing if you watch her Spanish, you make judge of it and make fun of it. But then when you watch her doing interviews in English, you notice that she talks the same. So, maybe it's a health problem. Again, we don't want to keep bringing up health, but it's like maybe Maybe it's something else going on that makes her speak like that.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand. You know?
Because she could have said no. When they offered her the role, or when she signed up for the role, she could have been like, no, I don't want to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And then that would have been an issue.
Yeah, she could have looked at it like, hey, that's beneath me.
Yeah.
But she was like, I'll fly out there.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So either way, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If she would have done it, people would have got word from it and like, oh, look, she don't want to do a Latina part or to speak Spanish. And then she does it. Oh, she can't speak. She's a no sabo.
Yeah.
You could Anyway, love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out them, and they're doing great. And also the way that she did El Muchacho de los Ojos Tristes, the remake of it with the Marias.
Oh well.
For Benny. Oh, love that song.
I'm about to check it out. I'm about to check it out.
Classic song, and she remade it. And I believe the backstory on that. Don't quote me on this. I believe it's because one of her grandparents loved that song, and she remade it to So.
Tight.
Great song.
Tight. I'm definitely have to check that out, man. But yeah, shout out Selena Gomez. Shout out all water signs watching this, whether they hate us or love us.
They love us.
Yeah, but yeah, true. But you know what? You know what's funny? How you right now you were saying that girl, she said what she said. They reviewed the video and still posted it. It's funny because a lot of people don't know that we've been saying some crazy stuff on here, but then after we rewatch it, especially me, after a while I watch it sober, I'm like, you know what? I tell my sister and my brother, hey, you know what? I cut that part out because it was a little too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is the thing. Right now, our podcast is getting, minimal views, but we're getting views, and we still edit, or he still edits it to where it's not us doing the most,
Yeah.
So I can't believe them that they have millions of views, saw that and didn't correct it.
Yeah.
And to make a reel out of it is crazy to me.
Yeah, and you know what? Real quick, I want to shout out Angel from These Fools.
Yes.
Angel, shout out Angel. Because I need to drink it. Because recently he posted a vacation with his bae, right? A vacation. Mm-hmm. So on there he said, hey, those of you that like been following them and us for a minute, you guys know what Angel does, right? On the side for a living, right? Mm-hmm. So he kind of does what we do. He's a vendor. So he was in like Cancun or like some vacation place, right? With his new suits, with his new bae, right? With his new bae. So then he's like, you know what, guys? He's like, look. He goes, when we started this 4 years ago, I didn't know I was gonna end up here.
Right.
He goes, when we started this 4 years ago, people laughed, people made fun of us, people were like joked about us, people talk, mess about us. But he goes, but look at me now. 4 years later, look where I'm at. He goes, I'm right here with my girl. He didn't post his girl because, those of you that know, we know how hard it is when you post somebody and then immediately everybody starts talking shit.
Yeah.
So it's like he didn't post her because he's smart enough. Me watching that video of him on vacation hella motivated me. Motivational words like that could motivate somebody to like keep going.
Yeah.
Like me seeing that, I told Eric about that. I was like, dude, hey. And I was like, look, you need to go watch this. And it's like, dude, hella motivating,
Yeah.
And it's like, as many people would talk bad about him, all his exes, came out of nowhere and started talking mess about him. But it's like, dude, he's still that fool. He's up there. He's there for a reason, and he's gonna stay there for a while.
And what's crazy? Because I know I see this a lot. I don't follow them, but his previous partners, it's crazy how like they have or are getting a lot of views and a lot of follows from being related or associated with him, and then still go and bash him. It's like, dude, he gave you that, but it's beyond me. I'm just like, dude, I would be like, dude, thank you. Like, he's the best. Thank you for putting me on and doing the most, but hey,
a lot of people aren't really appreciative like that.
Yeah.
They're not. Because one of our favorite podcasts, one of the hosts on there, he reminds me of me because we're both hella tall, which is La Platica.
Mm-hmm. Love them.
So one of them, I'm not gonna say which one, but if y'all watch him, y'all can figure it out. One of them, he had his partner, and he never really posted her. So then there would be girls in the comments, oh, how, so and so is so fine, she's so pretty, she's so beautiful. How come he never claims her? They're commenting from a follower point of view.
Yeah.
They're not they don't see the business owner point of view. Me as a business owner, I'm like, I know exactly why he doesn't post her. I know exactly why he doesn't post her. He loves her. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's bad. Yeah, That's wifey material. That's why he's not posting her. And a lot of people don't get that. And they will never get that because they're not business owners. Mm-hmm. So if you're a business owner, just know that we look at things differently. That's why he never posted this person. And I would read the comments as a guy. And everybody's like, hey, how come he never posted this girl? It's like, me as a business owner, I know why he never posted this girl.
And it's crazy because it's like, okay, he doesn't post her, like, but you're still, like, he's the one that you are a fan of. So it's like, take what he's posting.
Yep.
Like, don't demand to see it, Yep. If he posts her, he posts her. And then it's like, I feel like they almost say, oh, how come he doesn't or post? Yep. And then and then their name. It's like, because you feel special that you know that it's her.
Exactly.
It's like, dude, those are the secret haters. Those are the secret people that it's like they'll be the first ones to DM them like, oh, did you see what he said in la plática? Did you see what he said over here? And it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, so he doesn't post her, but you know exactly who she is.
Right.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying? So, but again, like I said, we can't say too much on here because we ain't trying to get canceled.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like we're so passionate about that topic because it's from experience.
Yep.
And it's like we get on here and we talk we were funny, it's entertainment, but we also have a personal relation to whatever we're talking about.
Yep. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up for today, man. Again, we're going to be doing a lot more episodes filmed in LA. So if you're a vendor or a business owner in LA and you want to get on here, let me know. Message me at Saca las Bolitas or at Scorpion Del Taro. And then, we'll get you out. We'll get you on. We'll schedule it. So that because what we're planning on doing is like we're gonna try to do like say we're out there on the weekend, so we're gonna try to record Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then come back on Monday. So let me know like what weekend works for you, then we can plan it out, and then I can just line everybody up, for like say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll get your episode on here. Shout out your business, shout out your story, even if you're not a business owner.
Yeah.
If you got a story that you feel that it would help people, if you got experiences that you feel that it would help people, let us know. We'll definitely have you on because, like I said, we're gonna be filming out there anyways. So if you want to be on here, man, let me know. Let her know if you guys know her. So that's gonna be coming up soon. We're gonna be pretty much doing that now that the weather's getting better. We're gonna be out there very often. Trust me. Mm-hmm. Any last words before we log off?
I want to shout out Martha, Seria. Thank you for watching. You know who you are, and also Andres, a new follower. He's been showing love in the comments on YouTube, so shout out you guys.
Shout out. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
So much.
All right, so this wraps up episode 30. Next episode, our brother Fidel is going to be here. We love you guys. Peace.